So we're ready to go here for our final game at the Clanton Fields. My name is Mike Jackman. I will be your play-by-play here with the new color commentator, Adam Monte. This game is going to feature Saskatchewan versus Ontario. We saw Ontario play earlier on. They were part of that 10-inning game where they knocked off Quebec. In the game that went back and forth till Ontario finally were able to drop the hammer in the 10th. First pitch of the game will go in there for a strike.
And hi everyone, I'm Adam Monta, joining Mike Jackman here as we get ready for the next pitch.
Strike two as that pitch goes back to the backstop. So it's an 0-2 pitch now for the Ontario pitcher, Ryan James, as he looks to finish off the leadoff batter, the extra hitter in this game, Tate Olson. Here's one that comes in at the eyes of Olson, and it's in there for a ball. Here's the pitch. He struck him out for his first strikeout of the game as he pitched 1-2 pitch and got him Olson to chase up high for the first out.
Now batting number 8, Easton Bronze.
Strong, confident start for Ryan James as Jackson Hutchison goes up to the mound for a bit of a discussion. They seem to be very well calibrated already, but I guess they just needed some more discussion.
His first pitch to Bronze that goes out of play. Easton Bronze is the pitcher today for Saskatchewan, but right now he's going to take his hacks at the plate and try and start something here in the second bat hole. That goes wide for a ball. That was in there for a ball as well. We're at 1 ball and 2 strikes. This is where Ryan James had the last batter, Tate Olson, at. This time Bronze turns this one, and it drops in there for a hit. Nope. Yeah, it was a fair. Yeah, it's calling a foul ball. Wasn't sure because he was stopping around first base, but it is a foul ball, so he'll have to come back and do it again. This time Bronze sends that one to the second baseman. He'll send it over to first. A nice play there by second baseman Caden Chung, who finishes it off at first. Over to Adrian McBride to finish off the second out. Ty Dosher, the shortstop, the third hitter for Team Saskatchewan.
Ryan James having them on their heels early on, forcing them to swing early and often and put them in play.
You got the strikeout and you got the ground ball there. Here he's got to try and take on Ty Dosher, the shortstop. One went in foul. Dosher steps into that one. He's sending the outfielder back, and he sends it over his head. Ty Dosher is going to try and stop there at second. Dosher took advantage of a 1-2 pitch and drove it over the head of the Ontario left fielder.
Ryan Ling hustled hard, but just couldn't make that catch.
So now that puts the runner in scoring position with 2 out, and the batter becomes number 18, Ethan Hilbig, who's had a pretty good tournament as of late. He's come up with a couple of big hits, hoping to have another one here and put Saskatchewan to an early lead. He'll send that one in the air, though, to no man's land down in foul territory down the right side. So he'll have an 0-2 count on him. So James gets an 0-2 count with the opportunity to end this inning, and he gets Hilbig to pop one up. Is it going to fall anywhere? Yes, it is. It is going to fall into the center fielder's glove of Noah Avis. Up comes Ontario as they erase that double from Ty Dosher with nothing on the board. Go to the bottom of the first at 0-0.
So we'll see how Saskatchewan does on defense this afternoon. The battery of pitcher Easton Bronze, starting pitcher Easton Bronze that is, and Mason Anderson, the catcher, warming up.
And up to take his first swing in the first at bat for Team Ontario will be Zach Carras, the shortstop. Caden Chung will bat second, along with Adrian McBride. That one rolls down the line, foul.
Leading out the bottom of the first for Ontario, number 43, Zach Carusos.
Carusos, number 43 for Team Ontario. As mentioned, sitting on deck, it'll be Caden Chung, and in the third spot, Adrian McBride. 0-2 pitch. So Carusos is swinging early. He's made contact the first 2 times. They've gone foul. Back off the glove there of Bronze, right to the third baseman, and he completes the play. So that'll go down as an assist for Bronze. He tipped it over to the third baseman.
Now batting number 10, Caden Chung.
one's in there for a ball. Seen some big pitchers so far in these in this tournament. Was the game against Ontario and Quebec. They had a 6'2" pitcher on one side and 6'4" on the other. And that's a base hit that's going to drop for number 10, Caden Chung, for the first hit of this game for Ontario.
Now batting number 14, Adrian McBride.
Adrian McBride, the first baseman for Team Ontario. He's going to swing at the first pitch, and then they try and get him over at first, but diving back safely is the leadoff hitter, Zach Carusos. There's a ball. That goes to 2-0 now. Nice shot there by Caden Chung as he singles up the middle.
I believe that's Adrian McBride who gets a single, and that drives Caden Chung up to second. So after Zach Kouros got put out with the assist of Bronze, we now have two straight singles for Ontario.
Kyle Mooson will come up here, the extra hitter. Two balls and no strikes now to Mooson.
I've been recording your sarcastic banter.
Got an RBI chance looking at him as he's moving off second base. There's a ground ball, scooped up there by the second baseman who fires it to first.
Now batting number 24, Noah Avis.
I'm a little worried. I'm going to text him. Just like hair and grass.
Pitch there from Bronze is in there for a strike.
It's a huge first pitch strike for Easton Bronze as they try to contain the damage here in the bottom of the first.
Two strikes, he gets him with that breaking ball as well. So now that puts number 24, Noah Avis, in the hole and has to hit on a 0-2 pitch. Holds up some good eye there from Noah Avis to hold his swing back.
Perhaps a bit of an ambitious pitch there for Bronze.
That one will get him and send them to the dugout. A huge strikeout again for Bronze and sends us to the top of the second, tied at nothing.
And while we've got a break between innings, we'll just point out the umpires. At home plate, we've got Bryce Mason at first base, Genevieve Gabouri, and at third base, Chris Walters. Also want to take advantage of this inning break to address something you said, Mike, on the Thursday evening broadcast, watching at home on SportsCanada.TV. You'd mentioned that Saskatchewan in a game against British Columbia was doing well until a point where BC, I believe, stole home base, and that totally turned the momentum in BC's favor.
Yeah.
And I think that's something to watch for, is for Saskatchewan to take charge and hold the momentum and not let go this time, because they're 0-3, and aside from their playoff or seeding hopes being in doubt now, the last thing you want to do is come all the way to another province for a national tournament and go home 0-4.
Yeah, so they're going to put out everything they can in what could be their last game of the tournament. And if they can knock off one of the higher seeds in Ontario that hasn't lost a game yet, I mean, even though they can't make it through, just knowing that they could beat the top team, got to give them a little bit of confidence going their way.
Yes. Of course, Saskatchewan made the semifinals last year, but of course the nature of these tournaments is that players age out and new ones come in, so every year you have a different team from across each of the provinces that has to gel for each season.
The Team Ontario team here is made mostly of the Whitby kids.
That's true.
First pitch to number 9 to start this inning, Alex Ellert, the shortstop.
And that is correct. Most of the Ontario players made up of the Whitby Chiefs, so they had a club team winning, whereas other provinces have tryouts across the province.
Big strikeout there for number 8, Ryan James.
Bit unfortunate on that last pitch, getting in the swing, that pitch that was objectively quite low, but struck out nonetheless.
Nice attempt there by the Ontario bench to pick up that foul ball. This is the catcher, number 13, Mason Anderson. Nice pitch there by James on the outside corner. Got the call for the strike, and now he's up 0-2. Nice grab there by the shortstop, Zacharias, to the second out.
Now batting number 5, Ben Klein.
Zacharias at short, coming up with the big play and climbing the ladder to rob Anderson of a base hit. Ben Klein, the center fielder, has also had some pitching time here in the tournament. Seen it all here at the Ray Carter Cup. Had a lot of extra inning games. We've had 4 outs in an inning. Ground ball. That'll be picked up by Curious. Fires it across the diamond, and that'll do it. 3 up, 3 down. Once again, as we go to the bottom of the second, as Team Ontario hold off Saskatchewan.
Whitby finishes that inning with 25 pitches.
First of 4 games that you get to do together. We get to do the 3 tomorrow for the Sunday games.
Yes, looking forward to those, especially the highlight being the semifinal at 11:30.
They're going to have a quarterfinal, I believe, tonight at Kinsman Stadium.
That'll be this evening at 7 p.m. And as you observed yesterday, Mike, we can go home and watch the Jays since they're out west.
Yes,
today.
sure.
Ontario, number 20.
Although they're on a little bit of a losing streak out west, but it's a rebuild.
Yep.
And start here in the bottom of the second with number 20. Zabo. The third baseman, Zabo.
Zach Zabo really put a lot of swing, his whole body into that first pitch. We'll see what he thinks about the next pitch.
Swings at that too, and it goes back to the backstop. He's down 0-2. Houston Bronze wants to put one of his better games together and hope that he can help his team come up with a victory here against a very tough Ontario team. Ooh, had a good break on it, but just on the inside corner. And he goes up high this time. There was a couple of pitches that were in the group, so he wound up going high with that, and he wound up getting Sabos to chase after that for the first out. Parker Bailey, the right fielder. This count goes to 1-1 now. I don't think we have a hit from either team yet. That one goes up high on the delivery from Bronze.
Well, we did have the Caden Chung single and the McBride single following that, but nobody's cashed in since the score is still 0-0.
2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. There's a smack that goes down the left field line, foul as it rolls up against the fence. And another foul that's going off. So good job here. By Parker Bailey to battle Bronze on the mound here. 1 out. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And a pitch. And he got him with the breaking ball again. Chasing with Parker Bailey for another strikeout for Bronze.
3 consecutive strikeouts for Easton Bronze. He's having a good moment.
Puts it up to Ryan Longs, the left fielder. Starts him off with a strike. Makes it 0-1 on the batter. Longs looking for a pitch that he can drive here. That one will be too high to chase. It's 1-1. Lons gets into that one, but he sends it to the outfield. Center fielder is going to race over and pick it up. A nice set of wheels there by the center fielder, Ben Klein, to collect the ball and send this to the top of the third.
Excellent hustle by Ben Klein. I think in any tournament, you always spend. It always seems from the view of a casual observer that the first day you're into it and ready to go, but also at the same time feeling each other out and trying to get a feel for your style. But now you're seeing players play with that much more confidence. And while I was speaking, I heard that Easton Bronze is now up to 31 pitches, which I thought would be a concern given how many balls and foul-offs there were. So they're eating into Easton Bronze pretty quickly with the Ontario bats.
The foul balls and the battle backs. So Team Ontario are getting his pitch count up. I believe your pitch count goes up to like 95. As there was a pitcher that won about 6 or 7 innings and he had to get pulled because of his pitch count. It was around 95.
I believe it was at Kinsman Stadium that Oshawa was on the verge of clinching their game against Saskatchewan the other night. They were 1 strike away from sealing the deal, and the pitcher had to come out because at 35 pitches they needed him out so he could pitch the next day. So even if there's just 1 pitch left, you don't mess around with pitch counts when it comes to pitchers.
Leading off the top of the third for Saskatchewan, number 12, Cole Huber.
Cole Huber will be up now here for Team Saskatchewan to start the top of the third. And he sends one up. Catcher's trying to find it, and he's not going to get there in time. Wearing the rectangular eye black is the catcher. Cole Huber, Marcus Andrews, and Caden Wright will be the bottom half of the Saskatchewan lineup.
Jackson Hutchison, the Ontario catcher, who had run right up to the backstop on that foul ball.
Sun's starting to come out here. It's been a kind of windy, chilly day, so it's nice to see the sun finally coming out. As that's a ground ball there from Huber, picked up and fires to first. Not in time as Huber shows the legs to run it out.
We're in the top of the third. Saskatchewan batting no score with Ontario here in Clarington.
Just try there by Curious to get to that ball there short. Just didn't have enough of the arm strength to get him at first. But he kept it in the field, so didn't let it get by him for a possible double. See some big power here in the tournament. A lot of kids have stepped into the ball and hit it to at least the fence. Seen some walk-offs like yesterday's Newfoundland beating New Brunswick. There's a strike there to number 11 now. Marcus Andrews, the right fielder. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes with a runner on first. That runner is Cole Huber. He's going to go for the steal. And he is
safe, I believe.
He is safe. You got to try and look over the home plate umpire to see the call, but It's a safe call, and now he's got to dust himself off as he's full of the dirt after sliding into second base.
Cole Huber got the steal, and third base umpire Chris Walters hustled over to second to make that call, with Cole Huber getting there just in time and now in scoring position with just one out in the top of the third.
Nice play there by number 21, the catcher, Jackson Hutchinson, who caught that ball, made sure that Huber didn't make his way to third. Smacked. A big hit there by number 19 for Team Saskatchewan. Kidden Wright.
Now batting number 16, Tate Olson.
But that went down as an out though. Second out of the inning. Back up to the top of the order for number 16, Tate Olson. Ryan James trying to keep Huber over there at third. This is the first runner of the game we've had reach the third base. James now has it at 1 and 2. Ryan James gets into his delivery looking for his put-away pitch to send this to the bottom of the third, and there it is as he gets him swinging and sends him back to the dugout. Ryan James with another big strikeout under his name, and that one will send it to the bottom of the third. Still tied at 0-0.
Ontario finished that inning with 39 pitches.
So it's a battle of the eights on the mound. Ryan James for Ontario trying to match Easton Bronze. Outing for outing. And inning for inning. We go to the home half of the third. Still no score. Ontario coming up to bat. Jackson Hutchison, the catcher, will be first at the plate.
See if there's anything on the chat or anything.
Leading off the bottom of the third for Ontario, number 21, Jackson Hutchison.
There's a ground ball, and that'll start off the innings. Bronze throws it over there to first for the out. Easton Bronze picks up the little roller that heads back to him, and collects the out by delivering the ball to Ethan Hilbig at first.
Now batting number 8, Ryan James.
Bottom of the lineup, number 8, Ryan James, the pitching spot. Having a good game so far with his pitching, and see what he can do with his bat now. And this is his first at bat, looking to do something with it. Takes a ball there in the dirt. It goes to a 2-ball, 2 strikes count with 1 out. That one he'll send foul and off the cage and behind. Here's delivery, 2-2 pitch, and another foul ball. So just like Saskatchewan still putting that, battling with the foul balls. This one isn't going to be foul. That's going to be a strikeout again for Bronze.
I'm sure Ryan James would have liked to keep fouling them off and wear down his mound foe, but doesn't shake out that way.
Top of the lineup, Zach Curios. Curios sends one to set to left field. Nice play. He muscled it by the third baseman to Zabo to get himself on board.
Now batting number 10, Caden Chung.
Found the gap on the very first pitch, and Zach Koros is aboard. So this game's still looking for its first run from either team, and now the potential initial run is on board.
Caden Chung singled in the first inning for Team Ontario. Both him and Adrian McBride had back-to-back hits, but they weren't able to do anything with it. They're going to check him out at first. Nice play to get back in time, but was a little bit closer than Kuros would want there.
Absolutely. He's not taking that much of a lead, but enough to have the Saskatchewan battery concerned at least.
There goes Kuros now, and it's going to be a foul ball. And he just ran some energy out for nothing.
Absolutely. The other thing is that, of course, these checks back to first base don't count towards the pitch count, but that's still more work for Easton Bronze to be heading back to first.
Mm-hmm. Another foul off there by Chung.
So Caden Chung hasn't drawn any balls in this at-bat, but has 2 strikes, including those fouls.
That one he goes chasing after, and that'll end the inning. Another big strikeout for Easton Bronze as he keeps holding the Team Ontario bats at bay.
Excuse me.
top of the fourth for Saskatchewan, number 8, Easton Bronze.
Easton Bronze gets to swing first here in the top of the fourth. You don't see it much with the pitcher being in the second spot in the batting order, so that shows that Bronze can swing the bat and probably has some legs to go along with it.
In this at bat, he's taken the first 2 pitches he's seen for strikes. See what he does here.
That one will go outside on the left side of the plate. Here's the pitch, and he smacks that one up the middle to hit the player in front. Nice play by the shortstop, but he's not going to get him. Nice play there by shortstop Kuros, but Kuros wasn't able to get him in time. I think it hit something. It might have hit
Now batting number 17.
James going up the middle.
Yes.
It hit James going up the middle, and it slowed the ball down, so Kuros wasn't able to get that ball over there to first in time.
Kuros wasn't able to get it in time, and McBride wasn't quite able to get his fingertips on it.
The high fly, that's going to be a souvenir heading in behind us.
So we're in the top of the fourth. No score and no outs for Saskatchewan.
And if you were asking Saskatchewan if they'd have a 0-0 tie against an undefeated team in the top of the fourth inning, they'd take that. But right now they're going to try and take their lead. They started off right with the base hit by Bronze. Ty Dosher has a 2-1 count on him. With Ethan Hilbig to follow. This pitch, that's outside, and it goes to a 3-1 count. So was Ryan James. He was cruising through the first 3 innings, but he's had a little bit of trouble here now after the leadoff single on a 3-1 count on Dosher. And as ball 4, the first 2 runners get on, and it sets the stage now for Hilbig. And before Hilbig will take his swings, out goes number 21, Jackson Hutchinson, to have a chat with Ryan James.
Jackson Hutchinson, Ryan James, and a couple of their infielders joining head coach Gary Brendergast with that brief conference on the mound, and I think they're set to go.
Now, James would die for a ground ball to maybe get a double play out of this. Hilbig hasn't been a ground ball hitter so far this tournament.
He flied out in his first at bat, so his got to try to find the sweet spot now.
One ball and 2 strikes now. On Ethan Hilbig. See the Hilbig sends that one to center, and it drops for a hit. That's going to bring in at least 1 run, and Saskatchewan have the lead on Team Ontario as Hilbig comes through with an RBI single, bringing in number 8, Bronze.
There's that sweet spot he needed, dropped into the gap, and that brings in the run to make it.
Now batting
1-0
number 9, Alex Heller.
Saskatchewan.
And now Alex Ellert's up there. The hit by Hilbig also moved the runner over to third and Ty Dosher. Still nobody out on the scoreboard. There's the ball. Oh. Ryan James was making it look easy the first 3 innings, but now Saskatchewan have gotten to him. And that one's going to be a ball as well. That'll be a 2-0 count. That was a ball as well. Goes to 3-0 now. Three balls, no strikes. Ball 4. That's going to load the bases with nobody out. And it is going to bring up now Mason Anderson.
And I suspect that came up during the mound meeting a few minutes ago, that Ryan James just has to stay focused, do his thing, and try to get out of this jam, unless they're going to change him now.
Nice.
Chain of food. Or you could play Chain of Food.
And I believe Nick King is coming in for Ryan James. We'll wait for that confirmation.
As Ryan James made it look easy for the first 3 innings, but then Saskatchewan finally found a way to get things going, and then it took an RBI single by Hilbig to give Saskatchewan the lead. And then Ellert got aboard, and a walk there to Mason Anderson, which ended the day on the mound for Ryan James. But it doesn't end his pitching line, because these 3 runners that are on base are on his ERA.
That is correct. Ryan James will be on the hook for Ty Deutscher, Ethan Hilbig, and Alex Ellert. As Nick King has been assigned by Gary Prendergast and the pitching staff to pick up the pieces. Pardon me, Jerry Prendergast. And in any event, the Whitby team looking to get out of a jam here.
Saskatchewan has lost their first 3 games, 13-2, 15-10, and 7-1. So they want to have a little something to brag about when they go back to Saskatchewan. And knocking off one of the top teams would do just that. So Mason Anderson's the one that's going to have to go against King.
Good start for Nick King, though, on a first pitch strike. Certainly, if he can get Mason Anderson on the strikeout, it makes...
Anything that comes back to the mound is going to go home first.
Yes.
Big right there from Ryan King.
Got Mason Anderson looking, and now that makes the job not 1/3 less daunting, but half as daunting only. Is now you got the double play ball, you got more possibilities to get these next 2 outs as opposed to having the bases loaded and no one out.
Line drive up the middle, a base hit there for number 5, Ben Klein, and that is going to bring in a run, and he got tagged out there at home. That was number 18 that got tagged out at home there for Saskatchewan.
Yes, Ethan Hilbig as Ty Dorcher came in to score. A bit of confusion as Alex Ellert was already on his way to third. Ethan Hilbig had no choice but to carry on home, and it was a good effort, but it means another put out, and yes, indeed, anything can happen, and that's why getting that first out was huge, because now the ball was put in play, it led to the next out, and now King just went out away.
Base hit again, and that is going to go for Huber for a base hit. In comes number 9, Ellert, and behind him is going to be
Ben Klein.
Ben Klein to make this one 4-0 now. A huge RBI there for Cole Huber. 2 RBIs, and now Saskatchewan has built a 4-0 lead on the verge of having an upset here. Ground ball. Third baseman picks up, fires to first, and that'll end the inning, but not before Saskatchewan put a 4 spot up on Team Ontario, and Team Ontario know that Saskatchewan aren't playing around in this game, and hopefully they can get their bats going and get back into it.
As nice as it would be for Saskatchewan to show their fans, and especially their families who've traveled all this way, that they've come to play and that this tournament wasn't for naught. It's not that Ontario can afford to let this one go, not only because they're still vying for top spot in the group, but also you don't want to build up all this momentum in the early games only to slide when you've got some big potential quarterfinal and semifinal games coming up. So we're here in Clarington, Ontario, near the community of Bowmanville, 15 minutes east of Oshawa. So looking out at what's going on out west in Oshawa, Prince Edward Island is up to a 10-0 lead on New Brunswick in the bottom of the 5th inning, so that very well come close to ending.
That could go for a mercy rule.
Yes.
For Oshawa was mercied earlier on by British Columbia, 10-0.
Yes.
As being Craig talked about the last game, now MLB wants to think about having the mercy rule after 7 innings if a team is getting beat by that much.
The way the Dodgers thumped the Jays on Tuesday night, maybe that wouldn't have been a bad idea.
They're professional baseball players who get paid a lot of money, so they got to play the full game. They've got fans who are paying to come to the game, so you got 1 ball, no strikes to start here in the bottom of the 4th.
McBride had to duck out of the way for that one. That's in there for a strike.
There's a strikeout of McBride, and Eastern Bronze keeps his excellent game going here for Team Saskatchewan. It's also nickname jersey weekend in the MLB. It was hard to miss the Blue Jays uniforms last night. All dressed up in white. Scooped up there by the catcher.
I believe that game has gone final. Prince Edward Island has beaten New Brunswick 10-0. Prince Edward Island has been a very pleasant surprise this tournament. 4-1 in Group B.
Nice rip there into right field, and he doesn't have the ball. It dropped in front of the right fielder for Saskatchewan, Marcus Andrews.
Yes, Andrews tried to make the catch. It looked from this angle like he thought he had it, but he just didn't.
Those are the ones that fall in front of you where you don't know if you want to dive or not. In case it goes by you, you have to take the chances. So that puts up number 24, who lays down a bunt foul. That is Noah Avis. A big leadoff hit by Kyle Mewson, dropping a ball just in front of the right fielder Andrews for Saskatchewan. There's another ball that's going to go back and out of play and put 2 strikes on the batter Avis, so he's got a battle back out of a 2-strike hole. There's another ball. It goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. It's in the dirt. And off goes Mewson to second base. And now, all of a sudden, Team Ontario aren't going away in the bottom of the 4th here. After Saskatchewan built up a 4-0 lead, Team Ontario are going to try and cut into it, and Noah Avis has an opportunity to do so with an RBI here, but he'll take that one for a ball to even the count at 2 balls. Now 3 balls and 2 strikes at a full count. Smacks that one on the ground. Picked up there by the shortstop, Dosher. Fires it over to first.
He fired it to third for the tag, and he did indeed get Kyle Mewson. Avis reaches on the fielder's choice.
Zach goes down as a 5-6 putout. As shortstop Dosher threw it over to Katie Wright for the out.
I thought that maybe Ellert seemed to hesitate when the ball was hit, but he was very observant and ended up making the right choice with the put out to Deutscher.
So that has Nick Szabo up right now. Zach Szabo. Zach Szabo, my apologies. Hopefully pick up a hit here. The third baseman for Team Ontario will follow that one off the netting.
That bounced away from the catcher Anderson, and that allowed Noah Avis to reach second.
Swung in the dirt, and another one that gets past the catcher Hutchinson. Sorry, the catcher Mason Anderson. But they get the out, though, at first, and Saskatchewan get out of that as Team Ontario were starting to threaten, but a smart play by the shortstop Ellert that got the out at third, and then they got the strikeout there to end the inning. We're going to the top of the fifth with Saskatchewan still up by 4.
Saskatchewan finished that inning with 63 pitches.
.63 for Easton Bronze. Saskatchewan getting what they can out of him today.
Leading out the top of the fifth for Saskatchewan, number 19, Caden Bright.
Caden Wright, and then back to the top of the order for Tate Olson and Easton Bronze. In the top of the fifth here at the Clarendon Fields for the Ray Carter Cup. And if you're not here in attendance, you can watch these games streamed live on SportsCanada.TV. There's a strike. Goes to no balls and 1 strike. To Caden Wright to start things off. There's a ball that goes to now 1-1 on the batter. Caden Wright helped get that throw out at third base to end the last half inning. This one he swings on and misses, and is down a ball and 2 strikes. Saskatchewan wearing their, looks like their province socks. And he swings and misses at that, and it's another strikeout. And
Now batting number 16, Tate Olson.
Goes down as a strikeout for Nick King.
So we go back to the top of the order with Tate Olson. And he took the strike. So we welcome all of you on SportsCanada.TV, as Mike mentioned. And we also mentioned people who pay good money to see them in the majors.
Fly out there to the second baseman, Kaden Chung, for the second out.
Now batting number 8, Easton Bronze.
And I was just going to say, you can pay to see some good baseball here for a lot less than they charge at the majors.
Mm-hmm.
Day passes for all of tomorrow's games at Clarington and Kinsman, $20 adults, $15 for seniors and youths.
Get to see the gold medal game tomorrow, whoever is fortunate enough to make it there that game would go at 6:30 at the Kinsman Stadium. One ball, one strike, and 2 outs.
Easton Bronze took that one on the outside corner.
They scoop up there by the catcher, Mason Anderson. And he paints the corner again. It's a quick inning for Zach King as he picks up the strikeout. Nick King, sorry. Picked up the strikeout. And he's been doing well since coming in for Ryan James. And he's held Saskatchewan to just their 4 runs.
Lots of positive takeaways for Saskatchewan here. One is that obviously they've put up a big inning of their own. They've been the victims of not so much plays where they got games where they got pounded inning after inning, but just one bad inning can sink them in, like the 11-run inning of the 4th that they allotted to Quebec back on Thursday morning. So good to see them fighting back with a big inning of their own, scoring 4 runs, and of course allowing none for Ontario, as Ontario tries to get on the board in their 5th opportunity of the inning, or 5th opportunity of the game to do so, as we go to the bottom of the 5th. You can see the dust swirling in the infield, and we certainly feel it under the canopy behind home plate. Slight southwesterly wind blowing off Lake Ontario, but not having a substantial impact on the movement of the ball or any other element of the play. Just a pleasant breeze to complement what has been a warm and sunny afternoon.
Can't throw the wild pitch, might as well throw it on the first pitch when nobody's on.
That's true.
Parker Bailey. There's a pitch that's in there for a strike. That evens up the count at 2-2. Ground ball from Bailey. Scooped up there by Ellert. Fires the first over to Dosher. And that'll be the first out. Sorry. Hilbig is the first baseman. Still an out on the board for Saskatchewan.
Now batting number 54, Brian Liang.
Once again, Alex Ellert getting a good read on the ball and then acting quickly to make the put out.
He's had a really good tournament defensively. He's come up with some great plays. Ryan Liang now, the left fielder. Fielders are always moving around, including the shortstop or the second baseman. They want to try and move to the right position that'll get a ground ball to hit to them. A ground ball this time, and that'll roll down the left field line foul. One ball and 2 strikes. Here's a pitch. That'll go in the dirt to even it up at 2-2. 1 out after the first out, ground out to Parker Bailey. And this will be another high fly ball going to right field. And it's going to be caught there by Hilbig, who makes the catch in the foul ground.
Now batting number 21, Jackson Hutchison.
Jackson Hutchinson, the catcher, looks to start a 2-out rally here for Team Ontario.
Easton Bronze showing no sign of fatigue despite the workload he's had this afternoon.
I think they'll keep sending him out there until Team Ontario at least gets a run. There's a nice shot right back up the middle. A big hit there from Jackson Hutchinson near the bottom of the order. Brings up Nick King.
Now batting number 26, Nick King.
Good hit there by Hutchinson. Took it right back where it came from, right back up the middle. Can't defend up the middle.
And now here's a great opportunity for Nick King to help out his own cause after doing some containment work on the mound. That just caught the lower corner for a strike.
Makes it 0-2 now. So now, Easton Bronze looks for one more pitch to finish off this top of the fifth. Bottom of the fifth, sorry.
And a reminder, Saskatchewan up 4-0, so Ontario still looking for its first run.
Here it is. He freezes him at the legs. And a good pitch there from Bronze as he catches him with the upside down K. We're going to the top of the sixth.
I think head coach Mike Lindsay and the fellow Saskatchewan coaches Chris Solstenick and Brett Walchuk and Chef de Mission Jennifer Lindsay have a lot to be happy about, at least this afternoon. Certainly watching those early blowouts must not have been fun for them, especially after the Saskatchewan team last year made the semifinals, but certainly more disciplined, solid defense, and some good turns at bat for Saskatchewan this afternoon. So at least something to go home on a happy note with in any event, pending the outcome of these next two innings, of course.
Yes, and as Craig was mentioning to me yesterday, the team from British Columbia, one of their coaches didn't make it because he didn't want to fly, and didn't want to drive the 48 hours.
That's unfortunate. One thing that struck me last year, not having commented a tournament before or even having attended many tournaments before, is how anytime you have either a sports tournament or some other kind of athletic endeavor on a national level, it's just heartwarming to see how, despite the adversarial nature of the games themselves, the game or the activity brings people together as Canadians truly united by sports. So to have somebody miss out is unfortunate.
Yeah, for sure. But no doubt the people who can't make it here, especially from BC, are watching here on SportsCanada.TV.
Exactly, I was going to say. I hope as many people as possible, whether it's that coach or just families, parents, aunts, uncles, friends who may not have the means to buy a ticket from, say, Vancouver, Victoria to Toronto. Hopefully they are watching on SportsCanada.TV. We greet and salute them all and hope they're enjoying the broadcasts.
Here's a strike on the outside corner to start the bottom of the fifth. Top of the fifth.
Sorry, we're the top of the sixth.
Top of the sixth,
scoreboard's
yeah.
not updated. And PEI not doing too badly. Depending on the outcome of this game, they could have a share of first.
Smacked into the outfield. That is going to drop. A leadoff hit for Saskatchewan's number 17, Ty Dosher. Great start to add a little bit of insurance here for the Saskatchewan team, because with a team like Team Ontario, you never know when a fire might start under their bats.
Absolutely. That one was too far for Jaden Chung, and not far enough for Parker Bailey.
Ethan Hilbig. That one is a strike. No balls and one strike. Here's ball 2.
So counts up to 1-1 for Ethan Hilbig.
1 ball, 1 strike. That's a bit outside. That'll go to 2-1 now.
Nick King might have been looking for a slider slightly off target.
Punch right the middle. Nice play by King. Gets the first out. Gets the second out.
Got the double play.
Big play there by King, the comebacker. He was able to glove it down, but they're standing on second base, so I wonder if he caught him safe at second.
I didn't see that, whether he made it, but yes.
He did. Maybe he pulled him off the bag on the throw to second, but they still got the one out, though. No double play. The throw going to second was off, but they get the first out. Now they look to get that second out there, but diving back in was Dosher. This is Alex Ellert. And that will go off the fencing in front of us.
Watching as Ty Deutscher is indeed safe on second. Hilbig out at first. And Ellert has the chance to drive in a run in scoring position.
Here's a high fly. Hits the netting in behind. Pretty big netting in behind here. Fencing in behind the Clarington Fields. And a brick backstop, so.
Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen. As some of our papers still flying in the wind.
It's a pitch down for Ellert. Gets his bat on that and sends it into right field. And he can't come up with it.
Parker Bailey could not hold on to that one. And we put runners on the corners. We've got runners on the corners.
Now first and third there for Anderson. That was just out of the reach again of Parker Bailey in the outfield. Marcus Andrews tried that for Team Saskatchewan earlier, and he wasn't able to come up with it. He's going to 2. There's a throw down to second. He is out at the plate. So just after he got on base with a single, he's thrown out by the arm of number 21, Hutchinson, who fires a gun to second. The tag is applied, and we've got 2 out here in the top of the 6th. Saskatchewan still with a runner on third to cash in, and that's number 17, Ty Dosher.
Take some of the pressure off Nick King, who just has to get this one more out. although he's at risk of walking the bases loaded.
There's a strike there on the outside corner. 3-1 with 2 out. That'll even up the count on Anderson now. Nick King gonna have to look into his delivery and deliver one of his better pitches on a full count. There's a pitch. And he gets him on the outside corner, high outside. Anderson doesn't like it, but his opinion, again, doesn't matter to an umpire. He's going back to the bench. And we will go to the bottom of the 6th.
So Ontario will have only 2 more chances to try to even up the score. This one on the bottom of the 7th.
We're going to get a new
Easton Bronze coming back onto the mound for Saskatchewan.
We're going to keep throwing him out there if he stays within his pitch count and Team Ontario doesn't get a run. They want to see if he can get a complete game under his belt. This will be our final game here today at the Clarington Fields. There will be another one tonight, the quarterfinal at the Kinsman, if you want to make the drive down to Oshawa to see the quarterfinal matchup.
I believe the winner of that comes here tomorrow at 11:30. And in the meantime, seeding could be an issue because the pressure is all on Ontario right now. They're at 3-0. They are the only undefeated team in the tournament. As they play the song "Beat It," where they sing "No one wants to be defeated." Certainly Ontario doesn't. They're at 3-0 now. But if they lose, they go to 3-1 and will be tied with Prince Edward Island and British Columbia. So tiebreaker rules will have to apply to see who gets seeded in what position for the purpose of tonight's quarterfinal and onward.
We'll start off the bottom of the 6th here for Team Ontario. And there's a high pitch for ball 1. Trying to start a little something. Number 43, Zach Kurios. Kurios sends it into left field. And there's the easy catch by the left fielder, Cole Huber, to put away the first out of the inning.
Cole Huber crossing across almost in the center field. Called off Ben Klein and made the catch.
One ball, no strikes now on the batter, Caden Chung, who's singled in his first at bat. Chung steps into that one, but it'll be a pop-up there. It was in between Ellert and the third baseman, Caden Wright, and Caden Wright made the catch for the second out.
Adrian McBride.
So 2 straight flyouts to start the Ontario 6th.
Adrian McBride looks to keep things going here with 2 out. Chopper that was in foul. No balls and 1 strike on the batter. That one goes in the dirt and tried to get picked up there by the catcher, Mason Anderson. Haven't seen much of the sun today. It keeps popping in and out. There's a ball. Up there to make it 2-1. 2-2, sorry. And the final strikeout there as Eastern Bronze once again picks up another strikeout. And Team Ontario just shaking their heads. They don't know what to do about how to solve Eastern Bronze on the mound for Saskatchewan.
Ontario has not had that much offensive output since they loaded the bases and then stranded all 3 in the first inning. So the Ontario defense will come out for one last occasion, and then they will get one last offensive chance. As Saskatchewan, with all 4 runs coming in the 4th inning, takes a 4-0 lead into the 7th inning, which will be the final frame, barring extras.
So, Greg LaChance is going to come in and take over center field for Noah Avis.
Leading off the top of the 7th for Saskatchewan, number 5, Ben Klein.
Ben Klein, the center fielder, will start off the Saskatchewan at-bats in the top of the 7th.
Ben Klein 1 for 2 today and came around a scorer during that 4-run Saskatchewan 4th.
And that's all the runs we've got here in the game. One good inning from Saskatchewan is all it takes, as that was a ground ball and scooped up there by the Ontario first baseman, Adrian McBride, for the out.
Number 12, Cole Huber.
Got some Nick King still out there delivering for Team Ontario.
Obviously, Cole Huber won't be able to add to his RBI count because there's no one on base, but he had the 2 RBIs in that 4th. But now he's facing the bottom of the barrel, 0-2.
Only way you can add to an RBI total is a home run.
True. That's one thing we haven't seen in this game.
Oh, we've seen an inside the park home run over the weekend, though. There's a strikeout, and that will go down as a strikeout for Nick King again. First 2 out of the top of the 7th.
Now batting number 11, Marcus Andrews.
We've even seen 2 batters get tagged out at home. Actually, I think they were both safe at the same time. One was behind the other, and they were both safe. I think that happened yesterday in one of the games. Ball outside now to number 11, Marcus Andrews.
Yes, indeed, anything can happen when you play the games.
1 ball and 2 strikes now.
That legitimately caught the lip of the strike zone.
No swing, says the first base umpire.
Home plate umpire Bryce Mason looking over to Genevieve Gabouri, who said no swing. Marcus Andrews held off.
Gets in at least one more swing at it. And there it is. He swings and he misses it. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Team Ontario with some work to do. They need at least 4 to send this to extra innings.
So just keeping an eye on those standings, British Columbia 3-1 in Group A, Ontario in danger of falling to 3-1 in this same Group A. Sorry, I mentioned Prince Edward Island also being 4-1. They're in Group B. So Group B will have Manitoba and Prince Edward Island tied atop those standings at 4-1. Having played 5 games of the round robin of Group B. Here in Group A, we have got British Columbia at 3-1. Ontario will fall to 3-1 and be tied for first with British Columbia, unless they pull something off here. Oshawa finishes its round robin a solid third at 2-2, ahead of Quebec and Saskatchewan. The best they can do, Saskatchewan, is 1-3.
Leading off the bottom of the
So the host Oshawa team has at least made the quarterfinal round.
Kyle Moonson.
Tonight's quarterfinal will be 3rd place in Group A versus 2nd place in Group B.
Starting out the bottom of the 7th. They're going to need a big-time rally if they want to get back into this. That was number 83 leading things off here. Kyle Meeson, the extra hitter. That'll be on the outside corner. First ball of this at-bat to Meeson. His pitch. He gets Meeson swinging, and it's going to be completed down to first for the out.
So there's one away, and depending on the... So Ontario has clinched a spot in the semifinal, depending on how the tiebreaker shakes out with British Columbia.
Now batting for Ontario.
Ontario will either play in the semifinal against the winner of Group A, whether that's Manitoba or Prince Edward Island. I'm sorry, they will either play the winner of Group A at Kinsman Stadium, or they will play the winner of tonight's quarterfinal here in Clarington, depending on how the tiebreaker shakes out. And depending on that Group B tiebreaker, it'll be either Manitoba or Prince Edward Island finishing first in Group B.
So a lot of things to work out before we can get to the quarterfinal round. Here's a fly ball. That'll go up and out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. Now it's a ball and 2 strikes. On the hitter, Greg LaChance. That goes outside to make things 2-2. LaChance, this is his first chance at bat here after coming in for Noah Avis. And he goes swinging after that one, gets a piece of it, and stays alive. Smacked, picked up there by the second baseman, fires it over to first, and there's the second out of the inning as the second baseman Ty Dosher picked that up and fired it over to first for the out.
4-3 play right to Hobig. As we have one missed.
Looks like we're going to have a change here coming up. In comes number 14 now.
Carson Hindmarsh comes in to the game to pitch for Saskatchewan. The stellar afternoon for Easton Bronze has come to its end. Hindmarsh to close it out with the final out.
Now pitching number 14, Carson Hindmarsh.
Hindmarsh, a 6'3" player from Saskatoon. Saskatoon, yes. Carson Hindmarsh, 6'3" from Saskatoon. We've seen a lot of 6-footers so far in this tournament.
Especially in the 14-15-year-old age group, we see quite a diversity of sizes from players just a few inches over 5 feet to those towering 6-footers you've mentioned.
I said if baseball didn't work out, they could give basketball a try, right?
True, and even hockey, which some of them are very much into. So Owen Finley comes into the game.
Owen Finley. Number 2. It's on him to keep things alive here for Team Ontario. He'll foul that one back. And Hindmarsh goes up 0-2 on the batter as he comes into the game. It's a shame that Bronze had to leave after 2 out. He couldn't finish on a complete game, but there Hindmarsh says, you've knocked them down for 7 2/3, and I will finish off the last one with a strikeout. Guess it was 6 2/3, eh? We'll get our Player of the Game awards coming up.
Shaking hands, please line up on your respective foul lines for the Player of the Game presentation.
Team shaking hands, led by the Oshawa junior players. One for each team, getting the opportunity to be bat boys and stuff during the tournament. So now they'll line up for their Player of the Game presentations. As the dirt starts to
First of all, let's give
spray around.
A big round of applause for our bat boys today. Great job, boys. Well done.
Very well deserved.
Taking the Player of the Game presentations is Mr. Jeff Sharp. Player of the Game for Ontario, number 26, Nick King.
Nick King, who came in relief after the Saskatchewan team went up 4-0, and he kept it there. He didn't give up a run since then.
One heck of a game. Number 8, Easton Braun.
So it's going to be 2 pitchers. Easton Braun, 6 2/3 innings.
Those would have been my choices. I think they would have been anyone's
Thanks,
choices.
fellas. Good luck in the rest of the championship.
So that is going to wrap up our day here at the Clarington Fields as Saskatchewan comes up with a shocking win over Team Ontario. That will drop them to 3-1 and give Saskatchewan their first and only win of the Ray Carter Cup. We will be back tomorrow early morning at 8:30. Myself will be the play-by-play along with Adam Monte. Thank you for joining us here on SportsCanada.TV.
Good night, everyone. So do we just leave
I think,
everything?
yeah, they'll come back and do it. Yeah, he comes back in the morning and sets it all up, so he'll come by and pick it up.
Okay. Well, good seeing you and
All right.
good working with you.
Yes.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Absolutely. Thanks, Adam.
Just magic. I think it was Mike, maybe. It's closing time. One last call.
At Bond Park.
That's group of 15 that came in, and I had to.